This video is going to discuss boats ramming into each other, ships ramming into each other, and just what goes on in this sort of battle. It's a question from Dr. Mabuse. Hopefully I can answer this with some clarity here. So in this game, every hex side is the same strength. So the ship Ashara, every single hex will be 15 strength. And also in the ship, the Sea People's ship, it will also be 15 each. Now the rule, I'm gonna get into also how boats get hit and struck as well. But in this example here, when this strikes the ship, you have a 15 on 15 battle. Now to create a hole, you need enough difference to create a 0. So it's in this game, unfortunately, ships ramming into each other will not probably create holes because we have no way to remember each hex side and the value of where it is at strength-wise. So after any battle that occurs, it just goes straight back to 15. This is done when we were first making the game. What I had done was I made the entire strength of the ship something like 30, and so if you hit it from one side and began to decrease it, if you got the ship down to 0, it would sink the ship. But this just didn't seem accurate with how in a simulation a ship would sink. Each side was going to have a strength. Each hex side was going to have the same strength, and that's where we went back and looked at the Psycho Raiders and looked at the buildings in Psycho Raiders, and we had measured each building wall to be the same. But you could record in Psycho Raiders, I believe, when you crushed a wall, you could kind of decrease the values a lot easier than you could here with the 15 value strength. It's just impossible, not impossible, but a pain in the ass to try to imagine the strength decreasing of each hex. So all you need to do is reach it to 0, and this just will not happen when two ships battle each other. I'll show an example here. So let's say they rolled a 4, they get 19, and then the ship rolls, and then they're getting a 19 as well. There's just no decrease. And if you need to decrease down to 0, you're just not going to really be able to do it with two ships striking each other. Now, if he rammed them, so he gets a +2, let's say he rolled, let's say he even rolled a 6. Let's say he rolled a 6 and he gets 12, +2 would be 14. He would have 29, you'd have 29 versus 15. He still couldn't do it. I mean, I wish we could do this. What I could have done is we could have decreased the value of like one ship over the other, but there just will not be holes being opened in ships, and which is unfortunate because that definitely is something you can do in a ship battle. But if the question was actually more talking about what happens when a ship hits a boat, so let's say this ship in the sea movement, let's say this boat is struck by the ship. What you have here is you again have a 15 strength ship side hitting a boat, and the boat's value is going to be 10. So it's 10 to 15. So the ship will be 15. It'll be 18 to the boat's 13. So the boat would have to take 5 damage. So the boat will decrease. So the boat will not cause any hole on the ship. Now, however, let's say, for instance, just for an example here, these two guys were on the boat and they traveled up to this hex side and they battled the side of the ship with their own strength. Certainly these could travel up there and add their strength together to try to create a hole in the ship. And in this sense here, they do get the extra added bonus of the boat hitting it. So in that sense, they can create a hole. So you can see certain things like that. But the ship-on-ship battle, we just don't have a mechanic in which you can add the value of the people battling as well. It's just a ship-on-ship battle. I'm sorry, we don't have that as a rule. So hopefully this brings some light to that.